is a paid program. Views expressed on this program are not necessarily those of CBS Radio, its sponsors, or affiliates.
Good morning. Welcome to the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. I'm your host, Harvey Freed. Alongside of me, Alex Nafusi and Harry Glantz.
Hey, what's up, work family?
There they are. They're all here. And Harry, you brought a special guest today.
Well, I did, because we needed a pinch hitter today. Our guests, normally our realtor friends and panel, they DQ'd on us at the last minute. So I figured, you know what? We've had one esteemed counselor at law, Randy Glantz, on our show years and years ago, but we really never had her in studio, and we kind of had her on the phone and everything. But, we just really, I don't like, I live with her, so I don't want to go to her in work situations, because I always say at the office, she has the job I want, or she has the job, I have the job she wants, and it's my job. But we brought Randy Glantz from Clark Hill, who's a family law attorney, been practicing 24 years, on the show, because we want to talk about, and unfortunately, as Randy will tell you, people get divorced in life. You guys know about that?
It happens.
Yeah, I've heard about it.
You've heard about that, right? So people get divorced, and then what happens when they want to buy a house, or, what happens to the marital home? What happens when they want to buy a house? When one person wakes up that morning and says, I'm done, I'm out, I got to go ahead and buy a new
Welcome
house.
to the show, Randy. There she is with all the answers.
Thank you. I hope I can help today.
Well, and I want to say this to you. When I met her, she wasn't an attorney. Even when I married her, she wasn't an attorney.
Oh.
She did go back to school after we got married. I don't know if that was an indication of the fact that I don't know how long she thought we were going to be married.
Possibly.
But it's worked out for 29 years.
Well, we're going to take all your calls again. Real estate mortgages. We brought the divorce attorney in to talk about how it all sort of comes
Family
together.
law, Harvey. Family law.
Family law.
That's a nice way to say it.
It's a better way to say
It is much better.
248-539-9797. We definitely want to hear from you. May 30th, 2015. Boy, the month of May just shot by real quick, and it's gorgeous, and we're in the middle of home buying season. And, of course, we got tons to talk about purchases. And, again, mortgage interest rates are just doing phenomenal. Yesterday continued the 7-day spree of really moving in the right direction, or at least staying where they've been. Discuss doing some smart things with your mortgage. Talk to your mortgage banker about locking in. I'm getting ready to lock in the whole pipeline on Monday. Get people covered.
Well, I think it goes like this. It's extremely busy in the purchase market right now. We ended a month where, obviously the last day to close loans was yesterday, Friday, the 29th, and we crammed a lot in at the end of the month, and that's just the way it goes in some months. But you're talking about a lot of purchase activity. You're talking about, Alex, in our favorite corridor, we like to call it the Woodward Corridor, all the way from, Ferndale, all the way up to Bloomfield Hills and every city in between, Huntington Woods, Berkeley, Royal Oak, Birmingham, Pleasant Ridge, and Ferndale. The area is very, very hot, and that's not unlike a lot of areas. Macomb County's hot. As a matter of fact, April sales came out, and April home sales Metropolitan Detroit area are up about 17% over last year, which was a very good market in 2014. But what we're seeing is we're still seeing a couple things. A, values in certain areas for appraisals, my favorite topic, aren't back all the way.
They haven't caught up yet.
They haven't caught up yet, but that doesn't preclude people from buying a house. That's number one. And number two, because the industry is really busy, we're still seeing a lot of 30-day purchase agreements. Sometimes you got to get a week or two extension on those.
Yeah, there's holidays that pop up. Everyone in the industry is busy here, and it's a great segue because, and we're going to take your calls now at 248-539-9797. The segue is right. That means the appraisers are busy. The condominium associations that fill out these documents are busy. Insurance folks are busy. There's just so many pieces of a mortgage in the process, and you got to make sure that you give enough time.
It's not always a 30-day transaction anymore. There's just too much that goes into it. There's too much outsourcing. There's too many guidelines. There's too many hoops you have to jump through. Trust me, I want to get your loan closed quicker too.
And the industry is busy.
That's what we're trying to do. Everyone's busy.
Appraisers are busy. Title companies are busy. Okay, a lot of lenders.
We can underwrite a file in 24 hours.
We always say, we use the analogy that, listen, if you want to go out on a Saturday night and you pull into a restaurant and they're not busy,
there's a reason.
There's a reason, okay? The real good lenders are busy right now. The real good pool of appraisers are very, very busy right now. We had a little seminar in our office on appraisals. Harvey attended yesterday. And we talked about what's going on with appraisals. And, you talk about, unfortunately, after years of marriage, people do decide to get divorced. One, Randy Glantz from Clark Hill, PLLC. How often do you hire appraisers to go ahead and ascertain the value before selling a house and deciding, what people want to get out of it and even putting it up for sale?
I would say 90% of my cases, if parties own homes, then we need to determine what the value of the home is, unless they're both in agreement that they're going to sell the home. If they're going to sell the home, it's worth whatever they're going to sell it for. But a lot of times one or the other is going to want to stay in the home, and we have to determine what the value is because that goes into the value of the estate.
So what normally happens? Does one party hire the appraiser? Do both parties hire it? How does that work?
Well, part of that is the dynamics of the case itself.
I love that word, the dynamics. That's where it's contentious or uncontentious, right?
We're going to try and make this positive. So if you've got two people who really are amicable and they want to work together, we have been very effective in hiring one good...
Why are Alex and Harry laughing?
I heard that word before.
It does happen. We do have very amicable resolutions, believe it or not. And if we can do it with one appraiser, where we collectively retain an appraiser who is going to give us a fair market value of the home, and we know appraisals are subjective. You know, we don't have a defined number. The only way we're going to know what the value of the home is if we sell it. So we've got to get an idea of what it's worth. So, but there are times where, you know, we can't agree, and my client will hire an appraiser, and the other party will hire their own independent appraiser.
So like our business, your business, it's all about disclosure. You have to disclose the intent of what's happening when you're going through a property settlement or ascertaining the value or anything like that.
That's the intent. Everybody is supposed to be very transparent. We don't always get transparency, but we strive for it.
So each party does an appraisal, and then what? You generally take the difference? The mediator?
Well, you know, a lot of times it really, listen, you can hire an appraiser to give you an estimated number, the number that you are looking for. But we really need to determine a fair market value of the home. So if my appraiser, for instance, has one number and the other appraiser comes up with something completely different, we may have to put that issue before the court. But for the most part, the numbers are fairly similar, and we can, if we are going to make a compromise, we're going to maybe divide the difference.
248-539-9797. It's the Hardcore Mortgage Show.
Randy's smart.
Randy's real smart.
smarter than me.
Yeah, dumb it down for us too, Randy, here a little bit. One of the things we see as mortgage people in the industry is a lot of times, again, they are getting to the point where we're going to decide who's going to keep the marital home in sometimes. But you have to qualify. That person needs to be able to qualify. And then not only that, do they have to qualify? Sometimes we see language on on these divorce judgments where they state, not only do they have to qualify, they have to get a mortgage in the next 2 years and get the other person off that lien. So there is a lot of these things going on, and you need a great divorce attorney. You need mortgage people sometimes even to figure out if they can qualify for the mortgage.
You need somebody who specializes in family law, that understands it. And from the very beginning, that's one of the first questions I ask. You know, if you have a marital home, do you want to stay there? Does your spouse want to stay there? Let's make a decision and get that issue resolved at the beginning, because there are a lot of factors that we're going to have to consider. The value of the home. If I have a client, if I'm representing, for instance, the wife, and in my practice I represent both, but on a particular occasion, if I'm representing the wife and perhaps she's not the primary financial support of the household, we have to determine what is your monthly budget going to be. Are you going to be able to afford this house? Even if you're going to get some form of support, is it going to be sufficient to cover, things like repairs and maintenance costs that you wouldn't have to factor into a normal monthly budget? So you really have to think about all of those things. While one party may want the house, they may not be able to afford it.
So doesn't that sound eerily similar to what we do every day? We have to qualify somebody for the debt. We have to make sure, run their credits to see if they have the ability and willingness to pay it back, how long they've been employed. It's the same thing. You just can't wake up one day, decide if you're the guy and I'll be the guy. I'm out. I'm taking half of everything and I'm out. Oh, by the way, honey, I don't like this house anymore, and you're making the mortgage payment. It doesn't work that way, does it?
It does not.
You got to think, too, a lot of times, when people buy a house jointly, we have to refinance to take one of the spouses off. If the house is underwater like we had, for the last 4 or 5 years, a judge's order doesn't supersede the value of the house. I can't take you off a mortgage if the house isn't, if you're underwater by $100,000.
Well, that really is up to the family law specialist to make sure we educate our courts.
Exactly.
Because you're right. If you've got a person that wants to keep the house and the other party understandably wants his or her name off that mortgage, we have to make sure that that's an option.
Exactly.
And, you were talking earlier about closings within 30 days. A lot of times in a judgment, I may put a 90-day refi or a 180-day refi. But before I do that, I make sure that my client has pre-qualified, has made sure that they know exactly when they're going to be able to realistically close.
All right, folks, you got to keep it here. We got tons of information for you. It's going to be real estate, mortgages, how the divorce works out if you own real estate. Come on back and join us. 248-539-9797.
97.1 The Ticket.
With ceremonies just around the corner, let's face it, it's not easy to find a gift for your graduate. So why not give them the gift of a good time? A Buffalo Wild Wings gift card gives your graduate the perfect place to celebrate with friends, catch wall-to-wall sports action, and eat some great food. It's a great way to send them off. And even better, it's simple. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
Hi, Harry Glanz for Capital Mortgage Funding. Rates are at historic lows, and they're not going down to zero. So what are you waiting for? Call 1-800-LOW-RATE and let our award-winning staff help you save money. If you're looking to purchase a new home, refinance your existing home, and you want to save money, call 1-800-LOW-RATE and take advantage of these historic low rates. That's Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. What are you waiting for? Call 1-800-LOW-RATE. Capital Mortgage Funding is powered by Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation, NMLS ID number 2289, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, I'm Calvin Bordine, and Bordine Grown from our farm means you'll always find locally grown plants of the highest quality.
And don't forget, our Bordine Garden Store is filled with amazing home decor, garden accessories, and a huge selection of beautiful outdoor furniture. Perfect for relaxing on those warm summer evenings.
You're right, Fiona. Bordine's makes it easy for you to enjoy that other room, your beautiful backyard.
And this week, Bordines has some big values too. Our stylish furniture from Jensen, Telescope, Hanemant, and Agio are all 50% off.
Make your backyard even better. Begonia Flats, 45 plants, now $3 off. And perennial coral bells, over 15 varieties are 30% off.
Our Bloomia roses, over 100 varieties, now 20% off.
And take $5 off all Bordine Grown hanging baskets.
Click on Bordines.com for a complete list of our fantastic Bordine values.
Visit us in Rochester Hills, Clarkston, Brighton, and the Bordine Farm in Grand Blanc.
Bordines, bigger, better, Bloomia.
Don't miss out on one of our best internet offers of the year. Get Xfinity Internet for just $14.99 a month for 12 months. Surf, email, browse, and download all for $14.99 a month. Or ask about other Xfinity packages and get the fastest and most reliable in-home Wi-Fi experience. So gaming, streaming, and downloading will happen even quicker. Xfinity delivers in-home Wi-Fi speeds that are 4 times faster than UVerse. AT&T UVerse can't give you the speed Xfinity does. Don't fall for UVerse. Xfinity delivers the fastest and most reliable in-home Wi-Fi. Call 1-800-XFINITY to get a great offer on Xfinity Internet, or ask how to get started for as low as $14.99 a month for 12 months. There's no term contract or early termination fee. Don't wait. This offer won't last. Call 1-800-XFINITY today. Offer ends 6/21/15. Restrictions apply. Limited to new residential customers. Requires subscription to Economy Plus Internet. Offer compares Comcast and AT&T's fastest available internet speed. Actual speeds may vary. Equipment tax and fees extra and subject to change. After promotion, regular rates apply. Call 1-800-XFINITY for details.
Every month, Heather Cook helps dozens of people file claims for life insurance bought through SelectQuote. The stories she tells are inspiring. Like this one about Joe, a 39-year-old research analyst. Joe was healthy, but with a wife and 2 sons, he realized he needed life insurance just in case. Joe called SelectQuote. His agent, Scott, shopped a number of highly rated term life companies, and though Joe's budget was tight, got him a $1 million policy he could afford. Last April, Joe died from heart failure. But thanks to his life insurance through SelectQuote, his family can keep the house and the boys can go to college. See how affordable SelectQuote can make just in case for you.
For a free quote, call 1-800-979-4336. 1-800-979-4336. 1-800-979-4336. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Hey guys, it's summertime, and life is all about weekends, cookouts, and all things outdoors. And the JCPenney men's store is the place to go for some serious summer style, where shorts, tees, and swim trunks from brands like St. John's Bay, Dockers, and Izod go for a cool 40 to 50% off. And spend $25 or more with coupon on men's apparel, shoes, and accessories, and you get $10 off. We've got your look, your style, and a great price. The men's store at JCPenney. When it fits, you feel it. Coupon valid 5/28 to 5/31. Some exclusions apply. Check jcp.com now or your Thursday newspaper for coupon and details.
Can't get an open phone line? Use the Galliana's Van Dyke Dodge ticket text at 97136. It's always open. Don't overpay. Get into Galliana's Van Dyke Dodge today.
The next time you're in Vegas, head to the D Las Vegas. It's not on the Strip. It's in downtown Vegas. The odds are better, the party's bigger, and you'll feel right at home. Book your stay today at thed.com. The D Las Vegas, your home for Detroit sports in Vegas.
You've got a question? We've got an opinion.
97.1 The Ticket.
Alrighty, welcome back to the show, 9:16, and a good morning out there. If you're out there looking for homes, be sure to call Capital Mortgage Fund and get 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Definitely get your approval letter in hand and find out how much you qualify for and all about the process. 248-569-7283. That's an easy number to remember, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. We're going to be talking real estate this morning, mortgages, and we brought Randy Glanson from Clark Hill to talk about divorce and how it sort of affects everything involved in a purchase, or in the fact that you might want to get away from that house. We'll start off with our first caller, Jim out there. Good morning, Jim from South Lyon. What's going on?
Hi. I just have a question. Like, I've been married now for 2 years. My wife had the house. And if we get divorced, since I've been paying on the mortgage, am I entitled to anything?
Well, Jim, you said you've been married 2 years and your wife had the house. She owned it prior to your marriage?
Yeah.
And how long did she own it before your marriage?
5 years.
So what I would suggest is that you determine, I don't know if you have a value of the home prior to you getting married, but the question is there any appreciated value that's accrued during your marriage? You certainly may be entitled to an equitable interest in the value that's accrued during your marriage.
Can you use a comp of back when the year we got married? So if you could pull comps from that year of homes that sold in the neighborhood, could that be equivalent to the value of the home prior to marriage?
You can use that as a starting point. You know, you can also get a retroactive appraisal to give you a more accurate figure.
Steal my thunder, Randy.
Hey, Jim. hey, you're not planning anything, are you? I mean, I'm a guy. I got to help protect you. So what's the story?
I'm sorry. Could you say that again?
I said you're not planning anything, are you?
No.
Okay, that's cool.
You're just double checking to see what's going on. What if situation?
Exactly.
Okay, so here's the deal. So as a guy, let me ask you a question. Did your wife quit claim you onto the title of a house?
No.
Yeah, see.
Well, that wouldn't matter in a divorce.
Yeah, I'm sitting across from an attorney and one who's my wife, and if I start asking these questions, I could get in a lot of trouble too. You know what I'm saying on that?
So, Jim, basically, you get just to wrap it up. You're entitled to half of the appreciation of the house from the time you guys got married to the time you get divorced.
Well, Alex, I'm going to
Is that
correct
right?
you.
Oh, beautiful.
Because it's not always half. It's called equitably division of property or equitable division of property. So typically that means 50-50, but not always.
I'm a great mortgage guy, just a bad attorney.
Yeah. We don't play attorneys on the radio.
Hey, Jim, thanks for the call.
Jim, I appreciate it, man.
All right.
Yes.
Thank
Sort
you.
of interesting.
Thanks a lot.
You know, here you brought it up, and that's the key is, I mean, are you entitled to this house?
Got it, Randy.
Did your spouse, whether it be the man or the female in
Yeah.
this case, did she already own it for a certain amount of years?
And that happens quite often. And, you know, a lot of times parties will get married and they'll move into one of the spouse's homes that they own prior to. So if you're married for a year, obviously your entitlement might be minimal, if anything. If you're married for 20 years, it's the appreciated value of the home. And sometimes if that home has been refinanced a number of times and the parties have, in essence, commingled their assets, the equitable division may be 50-50.
How do you determine that? The equitable, you said equitable division.
Well, it's all negotiable.
Everything's negotiable.
Everything is negotiable. So if we're going to...
You're getting the lawyer speak now, Alex. That's what you're getting. You see what I'm
Sounds
saying?
familiar.
I would say about 98% of our cases truly settle prior to going into a courtroom. So, you know, if you can sit down and negotiate, it's whatever you agree to.
Right. That's always the best route. 248-539-9797. The process of obtaining a mortgage. Boy, it's all about the documents lately. Divorce decree, divorce judgment, definitely one of the documents out there. All pages should be legible of these documentation. Find out what's needed. One of the things that's been shocking to us is the amount of documents we're getting over, including purchase agreements. If we can't read them, I'm starting to think that the clients aren't reading their purchase agreements. So I want to throw out there that it would be more important to start getting more professionals involved in your transaction.
Well, isn't that just good housekeeping, guys?
You would think
really,
so.
I mean, you take a look at a document, and trust me, I have the worst handwriting on the planet. That's why I have somebody either handwrite my stuff if I'm going to send it to somebody, or I do it on a computer. Right, or I typewrite, of course.
Yeah.
But the documents that we get, purchase agreements, tax returns, all right, verifications, I mean, even check stubs are coming about illegible, but people take the time and they send them to us. What are we supposed to do with that, Harv?
Exactly. Well, we can't do much with it at all. So, again, find out the right way to get the mortgage done, or whether you're getting divorced or whatever your situation is. Definitely get more professional people involved. That's sort of our theme this morning. Let's go out to Mike in Livonia. Mike, you've got a question. Go ahead.
How you doing?
Good morning, Mike.
Morning. I got a question for you guys. I'm getting married in about a year, next July actually, and my fiance and I are kind of starting to look at houses for the first time. And my question is, she has never really her credit's not established. She just got her first credit card and all that. She's not paying on her student loans yet because they're in deferment. And I have pretty good credit. I think last time I checked, it was in like the 760 range, 770 range. And I'm not sure if we should sign up for a mortgage by myself or include her.
Well, Mike, what I would do is I'd like to sit down with you guys and kind of give you just, an overview of how we handle everything. Run your credit, see what's going on. Maybe if there's something out there, a collection might not know about, and get everything in order and just kind of get you ready for buying a house, next July when you guys decide to do it. If she has student loans, she does have credit. It is established. So,
right.
You're doing the right thing with the one credit card. So just make sure she keeps paying on that. And we'll put a plan together so you guys can be successful homeowners.
Hey, Mike,
it's a pretty simple transaction.
Mike, I'm thinking when you said that you're out there looking at houses, are you out there with a real estate agent looking at homes?
Not yet. We are going to, probably in about a month or so is when we're going to really start kind of buckling down and looking.
Yeah, we'll definitely want to get you pre-approved first and make sure that you have all that knowledge behind you.
Right.
Mike, I'll call you after the show, get some information from you, and we'll get it taken care of, buddy.
Okay, thank you very
Thank
much.
you, sir.
Take
care, man.
248-539-9797. Let's keep the calls rolling here. I'll go out to John in Sterling Heights. Good morning, John. You're live on the ticket, sir.
Yeah, hi. How are you guys?
Good. What's up, John?
Show.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I have 3 properties, 2 of them which I rent out and one I live in. And I want to put my wife, I got married after I had bought the properties, but I want to put my wife's name on the deeds. What's the best way to go about doing that?
Yeah, quit claim her on. It's called a quit claim deed, and you go ahead and you authorize it. You put her name and everything on there, and you go ahead and we record it at the county.
There's a ton of title companies in Sterling Heights right around your backyard, so we can get you in touch with one of those companies. Yeah, you'll just go into the office, so we can make a phone call first for you and find out what the requirement is just to add her to the title of the house. It's an inexpensive thing to do, but again, once you put her name on the title of the house, she's an owner of that property.
Right.
Right.
She's entitled to the property. You sound like a pretty good guy. There you go. What do you think about that?
He wants to put his
What
name
do
on
you think
there,
about
yes.
that?
John, we'll put you in touch with the title company, and we'll go from there.
Sounds good. You guys have my email.
Thanks, man. You got it, buddy.
Good.
See you, dude. Go ahead, Randy.
How about that call? Usually we get the other call.
That's true. But in marriage, whether you're on title or not, you still have a marital interest in the property. So that's a common question I get. Well, I'm not on the title, and my response is always, doesn't really matter.
Ah. Okay, so you don't always have to be entitled. You've been married for 5 or 6 years. You're not on the mortgage. You're not
married, whatever both of you have, whether your names are on both items or both assets collectively, it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, definitely people were running away from some of these homes, back before from 2007, 2009, and 10. But now we've got all this built-in equities.
Well,
so there is some equity there for some families that wasn't there before.
Here, but it goes the other way, too. Even if somebody wants to sign a quit claim deed to get off of the title, that does not alleviate the liability if they're on the note. Okay, so just because you don't want to be in the house anymore, and just because you want to give your spouse the rights to the property, doesn't alleviate you from paying the mortgage.
They still have to qualify on their own independently, regardless.
Right, but
it's 2 separate interests altogether.
Right.
248-539-9797. Housing is stabilizing in Michigan. Boy, folks, things are fantastic here. It's one of these markets, one of these great markets across the country that's really coming back. The jobs, the employment situation here in Southeast Michigan has been fantastic. Low rates continue to make things very affordable. So even as prices move up, homes are still extremely affordable in Michigan. And again, purchasing a home in Michigan, obtaining a mortgage is very inexpensive compared to some of the other states in the country.
Well, so we had the little mortgage and an appraisal seminar in the office yesterday. Harvey, you were a part of it. And we were talking to one of the principals in an appraisal management company, and we were talking about, listen, I guess I'm going to have to come back, right?
That's a good story,
we want to talk about values. And, every area has not come back. We're going to talk about it after the break because I get real passionate
let's dive
about
into that.
appraisals.
248-539-9797. We'll be right back.
One company, one global vision, leading the way in innovation. We are Hitachi Automotive.
Hi, I'm Rick Curry, Director of Human Resources at Hitachi Automotive Systems in Detroit. Listen to what our people are saying about working at Hitachi.
I like the teamwork and the ability to enhance my career.
I love working with our great customers and suppliers.
I appreciate the flexibility and the balance of my career and family life.
I like working with and developing cutting-edge technology.
And I love bringing that winning technology from the racetrack to your vehicle.
Thanks, guys. If you want to be part of our winning team, check us out at greatengineeringcareers.com and be sure to join us at the Chevrolet Detroit Belle Isle Grand Prix, May 29th through 31st, to cheer on Elio Castroneves, one of last year's Belle Isle race winners, who will once again be driving the number 3 Hitachi Team Penske Dallara Chevrolet, featuring our fuel injection technology.
Learn more at greatengineeringcareers.com.
Hitachi Automotive Systems,
driven to win globally.
If you're into sports, if your kids play sports, and if you're looking for charitable donations that you can deduct on your taxes, here's a charity that's perfect for you in 2015. 97.1 The Ticket's Student Heart Check Program. This program makes it possible to screen student athletes all across Metro Detroit for hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, a condition not usually covered in a routine physical, and one that can lead to sudden cardiac arrest. Giving is easy, and you could save a life. Just go to cbsdetroit.com/student heart check.
Hi, I'm Eric Estrada, and I'm here today to talk to you about chips. No, not the handsome motorcycle riding kind that still haunts your dreams more than 30 years later. I'm actually talking about little FM radio chips, the kind inside almost every single smartphone in America. These chips will let you listen to real live broadcast radio if the wireless companies activated them. But they haven't, because they want you to pay to stream radio instead. You know, delayed, choppy, buffered streaming radio that drains your battery. Shouldn't the FM radio chips on your smartphones work? Shouldn't you get the free radio you deserve and already own? I mean, if it were up to me, I'd pull those wireless executives over and lecture them on fairness and the American way. Then I'd go judge a roller disco competition, because that's how I roll. Oh, I used to roll, but not anymore. Whatever. But you can make a difference. Go to freeradioonmyphone.org to find out how to get real radio on your phone. Tell them Estrada sent you.
This is Eric Paisner, founder of FRAT. Research shows that women file for more than 2/3 of all divorces in the United States today. This means that 2/3 of all men facing divorce are at a disadvantage. When caught off guard, it's common to act out of emotion. If your wife tells you she wants a divorce, call me immediately. Time is of the essence, and the smallest decisions can have the biggest impact on your case. It's my job to protect you. Call me today at 248-356-7775. 248-356-7775.
Spas, Hot Tub Swim Spas. Save thousands at the Hot Tub and Swim Spa sale now. Millions of dollars in inventory must be sold. Brand new hot tub slashed. See the amazing Michael Phelps Swim Spa. Free admission at the
Sports news all day, every day. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
Brought to you by the Hollywood Casino. Tigers tried again tonight against the Angels in Anaheim. Make that the L.A. Angels. Shane Green against Jared Reaver. 9:40 right here on The Ticket. Tigers falling 2-0 last night despite excellent pitching from Anibal Sanchez. Going 7 strong innings. He struck out 9, allowing 2 runs. Tigers just 4 hits. Meanwhile, Tampa Bay 2-0 over the Rangers. They win in Game 7. They punch their ticket to the Stanley Cup Finals. The other determinant will be tonight. Chicago plays the Ducks in Anaheim in their own Game 7. Michigan into the College Softball World Series, 1 game away from the championship series. The ladies of Michigan defeat UCLA 10-4. From the 1-800-CALL-SAM studios, I'm Jeff Lesson. For more, 97.1theticket.com.
are Detroit Sports. 97.1 The Ticket.
Welcome back to the show. We broadcast till 10 o'clock. It's the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. Give us a call, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Always taking your calls here live in the studio, 248-539-9797.
How about that Michigan softball team winning
That's
yesterday?
awesome
They
news.
beat UCLA. Kelsey Susala, Garden City High School, former finesse player, friend of my daughter's, 4 for 4 in the game.
Outstanding.
3 RBI. She was awesome. All the girls were awesome, but it's, you know, and I know it sounds crazy. I like watching girls softball,
I don't mind
especially
it.
at the highest level.
Right.
They're unbelievably skilled.
I like to see the teams from the Midwest showing up and beating a team out from the
Out
out
from
West. That's
California.
always even
Exactly.
better. Purchasing a home, always get that pre-approval. We always stress it on the show. Hey, get yourself prepared. If you really want to become a homeowner this year, the competition is fierce for those great homes out there. Have the approval letter in hand. There's going to be multiple bids on the house. Get a professional real estate agent to help you with everything involved. Figure out down payment, closing costs, escrows, association fees. You know, there's a lot involved, rules and regulations. Make sure you get more professional people involved. That's our theme this morning. And let's get to the calls. We're going to go to Mike out there. Mike from Southgate. Good morning. Welcome to our show.
Mike, what's up, dude?
Hey, Mike. Mike,
Hi, Mike.
put him on hold. Hey, folks out there, if
Mike,
you're calling
Mike,
in.
turn your radio down.
He's not
Listen
going
to
to
it.
hear us. He's not going to hear us. All right.
The radio's down.
Okay.
Hi, Mike.
Yeah, see, you got to be patient, guys. What's up,
Only
Mike?
an hour show.
Hi, Pot.
Mike, go ahead. You're on the air.
Okay, I have a house that I bought next to me in a tax auction and fixed it up. My daughter lives in there now, and I want to get it in her name. And if I did, would she qualify for homestead tax instead of us being taxed as a rental?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, it would.
So she can homestead the property. You wouldn't even get it in her name. Is it free and clear right now?
It's free and clear.
It's easy. It's a
But
quick
it's in
claim.
my
deed.
name, so can I quit claim deed that to her? Or?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, then she
Yes.
can come back and get a mortgage and pay you for the house.
There you go. I like it.
All right, there you go. Yeah, quit. It's QUIT, claim deed.
Yep.
It's an easy deal, Mike.
Okay,
I'll call
and
after the go ahead.
do I have to file that with the county then, too?
I would.
Yes, you have to follow with the county. Title
Sure.
company can take care of that. They can prepare it for you. I can put you in touch with one after the show, and we'll get it all taken care of
Great.
for you, man.
I appreciate it.
Good deal. Thank you,
got
sir.
it.
Appreciate
Thanks
it,
for
man.
the call. That's a
Yeah.
pretty simple one, 248-539-9797.
What a great dad. Fixed up a house for his daughter. And his
That's
daughter's gonna move
perfect.
in.
Now she's stuck living next door to him, but that's okay. It's not always so bad. Hey, Ron out there in Fenton. Good morning. Welcome to our show.
Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? Good morning. Lucky Mike have a house next door.
There you go.
Exactly.
That's it.
Yeah.
What's up, man?
1, 2, 3, quick claim. Hey, here's what I've got. I have a stepfather and mother that just recently divorced. Who would have thought? 78 and 72 years old.
Wow.
This is what I got. Their divorce is final now. Now he starts now pounding his chest. I'm not making the house payment anymore. My portion of it. He doesn't live there. It wasn't mentioned through the divorce. Now the house has been for sale. We've got some buyers, possible buyers for it. Okay. She tells me, well, he's not going to make. He hasn't made last month, and I didn't tell you kids, and I made it. I'm like, okay, and he's not going to make any more. I said, that's fine. She goes, but when it comes to closing, and because we've got some buyers right there, they're in negotiations. And they're only going to profit, folks, maybe about $5,000, if that.
Okay. What's the question?
The question is, do I say, Mom, you know what? Quit claiming him off of this thing right before, like, say, a week or two before. Get it filed down at the county in Genesee County that he's off of it. Then you owe him nothing. Or B, do I say, fine, Mom, let him play the game as big shot and do this. Once you get to the table, okay, everything's signed and done, and they go to cut you a check to Mr. and Mrs. ABC, say, oh, by the way, you didn't pay in May, and I paid in June, or say July. Your portion was a measly $244. I'm taking that from the top because you didn't pay.
Randy?
So the first thing I would suggest is before you do anything, take a
ma'am.
look at the judgment of divorce. Your judgment is likely, there's some reference, I'm assuming, regarding this home. And there also may be some reference to what we call maintaining status quo. So if he's not paying the bill that he typically would have paid, and that was
He was paying.
Okay, and if there is some reference that the parties are going to maintain status quo until such time as the house is sold, then he may have an obligation, and at closing, you can automatically deduct what he should have been paying. But I'm making a lot of assumptions. You really have to take a look at the judgment. You have to take a look at the language, and you can go back to the court and say, hey, listen, he's not paying the bill. We need to negotiate how we're going to handle that from this point forward until the house sells.
Great. More attorney's fees. Gotta love it.
Right. You only got a net $5,000, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm just to the point now. I was like, Mom, I'll pay the portion. Don't sweat it. Don't sweat it.
One last thought I have is before the closing. So let's say she makes these payments before the closing when they're doing the final paperwork. You can negotiate that as well. If you want to avoid court interaction, you sit down at the table and say, hey, listen, she's made these payments. We want to deduct them from the profits.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'm thinking that real estate agents aren't they're gonna be scratching their heads.
Well, it's not up to the real estate agent.
Way out of their league.
Exactly.
Yeah, tell the real estate agents to stay in their swimming lane. Okay, it's not their deal. What you can do is that you can go ahead and you can deduct what the payments were made and deduct it from the proceeds from his side of the transaction.
It's not uncommon for attorneys at this point in the closing to come in and take a look at the final paperwork and negotiate with one another to resolve this issue.
Nice. Yeah, because it was just finalized. The divorce was weeks ago, so nothing's been posted.
Ron, we wish your family good luck. We're going to follow up with you after the show. Appreciate the call. Thank you.
Weekend.
You too,
Thanks,
sir.
brother. Appreciate it.
That's awesome. All right, let's continue the calls here. We got some good ones that came up. Let's go to Steve out there in Highland. Good morning, Steve. We're talking about refi during a divorce. Go ahead.
Yeah, hi there, guys. I'm doing exactly what you were talking about. My wife and I are divorcing. I trying to refi. I already got approved, and the guy sent me some numbers that I wasn't real happy with. So when I called him back, he said he had canceled the loan and that he cannot redo it till the 11th of June.
Because the divorce is already filed, correct?
No, we have just filed for divorce. It isn't final yet, but we're both in agreement. With
You can't refinance in the middle of the divorce until the divorce decree is signed.
Unless you get all parties to agree to it.
Yeah,
we're agreeing that I'm keeping the house.
Oh, okay. All right.
Certainly, if you're in the middle of a divorce, as long as everybody's in agreement and you sign off on it, there's no reason why you can't do that.
Right.
Okay, I just don't understand why he canceled. I was already approved.
You went to the wrong place. Steve, we are so happy you called this morning. You're going to get some professional service. We'll follow up with you right after the show today. And again, if he doesn't want to do your mortgage, you can save money with us probably, and we'll get you on board with Capital Mortgage.
Yeah, we'd have to take a look at the transaction, but there shouldn't be any reason why to cancel it out.
Right, that's what I was confused about.
Did he give you a reason,
Steve?
Steve?
From you guys and,
yeah.
Did he give you a reason why he was canceling the loan?
It's kind of difficult to understand him. He's out in California.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, Steve, you don't want to...
Steve, we're right in Southfield, dude. We'll take care of you, man. We're a local company, so we'll take care of you.
All right.
All right.
Thank you very
Thanks
much.
for the call. I'm just thinking the guys from Highland, would he rather deal with a guy who lives on Cass Lake or a guy who lives out in, I don't know.
That's
where
a
in
whole
California?
different show, brother.
My God.
That's a whole different show.
248-539-9797. We take all your calls about mortgages and real estate. Today we have a special guest. Now we have a divorce attorney, family law. I'm never going to say family law. Call it a divorce.
You're so bitter.
248-539-9797. Let's try Rick out there in Ypsilanti. Hey, Rick, what's going on in your life? Go ahead.
Hey, listen, I lived with a girl for 15, 16 years. We bought a home together. Both of our names was on the deed, of course. She, make a long story short, she met some other guy, packed up a couple of bags, and left. I asked her what I was supposed to do with her stuff in the house. She told me to have a bonfire, burn it, blah, blah, blah. And she's gone. And, of course, her name was still on the deeds. I couldn't get her to sign off on it before she left. And I've been trying to get a hold of her through legal ways of sending her papers to get her to sign off on the deed. And every time I've tried to send anything, I had a P.O. box at one time. It just came back returned to sender. Now, she's moved from Florida to Washington State to Montana and all this, and I have no way of getting a hold of her. Her name's still on the deed. What could I do legally to get her name off the deed?
Well, do you?
I mean,
she's MIA, that's for sure, yeah.
Do you have do you have a liability on the home that she's also responsible? Is there a mortgage on the home that she's responsible
for? No, it's paid off. I paid it off.
Well,
I'm medically retired. Once I got hurt and had to medically retire, I was in a real financial
Okay,
bind.
Rick. Time out. Let Randy answer your question.
My suggestion is, unfortunately, I think you're going to have to resort to court action. So if you can't find her, if you're going to have to file some sort of complaint so that you can address this property issue, and then the court's going to give you some options of how to have her served. If you can't find her, you're going to publish your complaint. There are options available for you, and ultimately you're going to get a final order from the court that's going to allow you to go to the record of deeds and just tell them that your name should be the only one on the property.
Okay, so-
but it's a court process.
Very good.
Thanks,
all
Rick.
right.
I'll see you, dude.
We're up against another break, but when we come back, all of your calls, 248-539-9797.
There are big dreams.
I dreamed I was on top of a mountain.
Then there's Powerball.
A mountain of cash.
Dream even bigger.
Saturday's Powerball jackpot is $171 million. Get your ticket today.
Come celebrate the start of summer at Ray Wiegand's Nursery, where you'll find your inspiration. Ray Wiegand's Nursery experts can help you create the best gardens and landscapes for your home.
It's a great time to plant beautifully flowering perennials that'll be back again next year. Right now, save on all 1, 2, and 3 gallon size perennials, all 25% off. Enjoy the beauty of roses all summer long. Our entire selection of roses, all varieties, are now all 20% off. Plus, make the most of your outdoor living space. Our entire selection of patio furniture and umbrellas are now all 25% off. And for container gardening, our entire selection of glazed pottery is now 30% off.
And there's great savings on much more. Be sure to visit our website at WeegansNursery.com. Remember, for the best quality, selection, value, and service, buy direct from the nursery. Ray Wiegand's Nursery, since 1941. In Macomb Township, on Romeo Plank Road, we make it worth the drive.
Has a loved one in your family suffered a stroke or traumatic brain injury? Have you been told there's no hope? Over the years, Dr. Tammy Powell has devoted her life to those who have been told there is no hope. Her own daughter is living testimony that hyperbaric oxygen treatment can restore normal brain function, even when other doctors say it will never happen. You may not be familiar with hyperbaric oxygen, but it means you don't ever have to give up hope. Whether it's sports injuries, concussions, autism, cerebral palsy, strokes, ADHD, diabetes-related damage, or a whole range of other conditions. The professionals at Oxford Hyperbaric are successfully restoring individuals back to a healthy lifestyle. They offer state-of-the-art equipment and have treated thousands of patients from all over the world. Call Oxford Recovery Center today at 248-486-3636 and don't let anyone tell you your recovery is not possible. Recovery is possible. Call 248-486-3636 or visit OxfordRecoveryCenter.com and let the healing begin.
Every morning on CBS This Morning, we do something unusual.
We're just learning.
There are new developments. There is another bombshell.
We just get to the news.
We're going to look at headlines from around the globe.
News that takes you there.
You can see the scale of the destruction.
News that answers your questions and opens your eyes.
How do you measure the concern about this threat?
So tomorrow morning, join us and just get to the news. Only on CBS This Morning.
Right after CBS Morning News on CBS 62, Detroit.
Our family had a savings account until our air conditioner needed replacing.
We had a vacation fund before our refrigerator had a meltdown.
My family has no savings and our water heater just quit.
Sadly, sometimes it only takes one home system or appliance breakdown to bust your budget. But buying a home warranty from American Home Shield protects more of your hard-earned money because they help pay your covered repairs for you. For valuable free information, go to ahs.com or call 1-800-600-5107. Who wants to pour money into repairs for things like your air conditioner, refrigerator, plumbing, oven, or washer when you get the budget protection you deserve from American Home Shield? Service requests are subject to a fee for each trade called. Some exclusions and limitations apply. It's up to you. Pay for expensive home system and appliance repairs yourself or let AHS help pay covered repairs for you. Protect more of your hard-earned money. For valuable free information, including terms, rates, and coverage, go to ahs.com. That's ahs.com or call 1-800-600-5107.
So what if someone owned your GM vehicle before you did? It may be pre-owned, but it's got the same stuff it came with, like OnStar. Yep, that service that sends help in a crash, runs diagnostic checks, and gives you roadside assistance. Just push the blue OnStar button and ask for 3 months on us, a free trial offer, good on any 06 or newer OnStar inactive GM model. If you don't want it after that, just say so. Visit OnStar.com for coverage map, offer details, and system limitations.
Come on out and have a ball Friday, June 5th at the annual Stephen Tulloch Celebrity Softball Game presented by Michigan Hair Restoration. Under the lights at King Boring Field in Dearborn. Gates open at 5. It all starts with a home run derby. Then at 6, your Detroit Lions take the softball field for charity. There's music, food, fun, and even more surprises. All proceeds benefit Operation 55 as Stephen Tulloch and his foundation adopt 55 schools across Detroit, providing them with necessary school supplies, computers, tablets, and other needs on their wish list. Tickets are $10 at the gate, or you can purchase them online at Tulloch55.com.
Talking sports, loud and clear. 24/7. 97.1.
Welcome back to the show, 946 on a gorgeous day. You're listening to the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. Give us a call all day long, all weekend long at 1-800-LOW-RATE. The best mortgage banker. We still take your emails also if you're on the shy side at mortgage.show@lowrateonline.com. It's been an interesting show. Again, 1 out of 2 relationships, marriages don't last. You need family, what do we call it?
Family law specialist.
A family law specialist to handle it. It's not even called divorce anymore. So there's so much going on when you are purchasing
It is when you're
a house.
MFing each other.
Or if you're refinancing a house, let's keep it clean. If you're refinancing a house, who gets the equity? Who qualifies for the mortgage? Again, just because your divorce decree states that you're not responsible for the loan, your name's not off that mortgage. Again, you may be able to move forward and qualify, but your name and your responsibility is to still pay that mortgage or have your ex-spouse be sure to refinance and get it off. You got to have more professional people in your life. We see it all day, Randy, as you know, because we have to collect the divorce judgments. And when we take a look at these, that's where it gives us all the numbers and the information on what's going on.
Yeah, you know, when we start a divorce, we put a team together, and often that'll include mortgage experts, appraisal experts, CPAs. You know, we have to really sit down and determine who's going to keep the home. Is that a viable option for either party? Do we have to sell the home? Is it a market that's going to warrant a profit if we do sell it? Is it going to be underwater? What do we do with the deficit? So there are a lot of issues that we've got to address, and getting a team of professionals together is best.
If you need to do a prenup and things like that, you better get some more professional people involved before you get married and find out what's really going on there. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
My golf game's actually never been better. What I did is I had some.
I got a golf lesson.
I had some custom balls made with my ex-mother-in-law's face on the side.
Nice. How dare you?
Oh, boy.
We almost got out of here without getting in
I think I
trouble.
drove one like 410 yesterday.
I'm so happy that we are going to go
like
to call.
77.
He didn't even say that, folks. Hey, let's go to Brian out there. Good morning. Hey, Brian and Shelby. You've been on hold for a little while. Thank you for hanging in there. Go ahead.
Hello.
Hi,
I might
Brian.
be going through a divorce. I don't know yet. We're going through counseling. We got no children and a house involved. But we agreed to do it friendly, without attorneys, and split everything 50-50. What would you recommend on that?
Well, first, Brian, you've said the important factor here. You're going to counseling because divorce is the last step. It's not the first one, and a lot of times I'll get people who will come in and after a heated argument and they're determined to get divorced, and that's not really what they truly want. And if there's a chance of reconciliation, you do try to work through it. If divorce is inevitable and you want to sit down and work this out amicably, you can do it through a cooperative effort. You can still get the professionals involved so they give you the guidance that you're going to need. You know, sitting down and doing a judgment, you have to make sure when that judgment of divorce is entered, that's it. You don't get another bite at the apple. So you want to make sure that it's done the right way. So as much as you might not want to use a attorney or two attorneys, it's still suggested, even if it is to finalize the paperwork for you, make sure that you've got a final I over everything and you've got all the I's dotted and T's crossed.
There you go. That's great advice.
And I can get in touch with do it through Capital Mortgage?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Sure, we'll take care of that for you.
Yeah, we'll refer you to somebody. Thanks for the call, Brian. Really appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
All right, 248-539-9797. Sort of a touchy conversation as always because there's a lot of family, there's kids involved, and again, now you're seeing there's real estate involved and lots of assets. So again, the theme this morning has been get more professional people involved. As we continue the calls, we'll go out to Ortonville, and we've got Rick on the line. Good morning, Rick. You're live on the ticket.
Morning, guys. How are you?
Good
Morning, Rick.
sir.
Listen, we have a family cottage that's about 20-some years old. It's free and clear. At the time it was built, my father, mother, and a few kids were on it. And then one child dropped out, another one replaced him, and then my dad passed, and their will stated the kids that were on it at that time. My mom went to renew the will recently, and they told her she would have to go to probate to change another child who dropped out after my dad passed and was replaced by another sibling. And I'm wondering why we just can't do this with quitclaim deeds. Why would we have to go through probate?
Well, if I can chime in, I think the best solution really is to at least sit down and talk to an estate planning attorney to give you a better guidance on what you need to do. And, you know, it might be as simple as a quitclaim, but it sounds like there are a few other elements that you really need to sort through.
You know, there's no equity problems. No one's fighting over equity. It's just a matter of the one brother is not on title anywhere because he got in after the fact, and you know my dad's will wasn't changed because he passed.
Well,
so it just seems to me it should be simple to just change the quitclaims.
It likely is very simple. It sounds like everybody's going to be in agreement, and it's just simply determining exactly what you need to do it the right way.
All right. Appreciate it.
Good deal.
Thanks. Great call.
All right. Thanks for the call. 248-539-9797. We do have some open lines.
I love Randy here. She's like a human Google. Like, she's like, I'm using like madly typing things into Google. You have a question like that.
Hey, just think of it. You were spending $300-400 an hour to get this type of information. This is all free for our listeners.
The best day ever.
Right. We should have had it on earlier this year. Right. That would have worked out for you. Hey, Shelly out there in Northville. Good morning. Welcome to our show. What's going on, Shell?
Hi, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Morning, Shell.
Well, we have a property up north that we run as a rental, and we've been paying PMI on it for about 10 years, and we're just wondering how we can get out of it.
Is it FHA or conventional?
Pardon me?
Is it FHA or conventional? I know you rented it. Okay, it's conventional. I mean, you can try to do an appraisal and see if they'll drop the PMI. Your best bet's probably just to refinance it, though. What rate are you paying right now?
I think we're in the 5s. We did actually try to do that with a company, and the appraisal company took appraisals that were, 19 miles away. It just didn't seem like there were comparable sales at the time, so they took what they could. When it's a rental property, I think you have to be, 80%.
Correct.
And we didn't hit that mark, so
how long ago was this,
the appraisal free, but we couldn't go forward. But it's 10 years of PMI. We have like great credit scores. You think there'd be some type of limitation.
Shelly, how long ago was this?
This was in 2004 that we purchased the property.
Okay, let me do this. Let me call after this show. I want to run some comps on my own and see what I can do for you. I can probably help you out. I don't see why that'd be an issue. I really don't.
And of course, we have alternatives to the old-fashioned PMI. So with your rate being in the 5s, there's a good possibility, even if the equity position's not quite 20%, that we can give you an offer with just a slightly higher interest rate than if you did have 20% equity, and it would save you a ton of money.
Okay.
Especially, you're probably looking at a 15-year. What's the balance on the house?
I think it's like maybe 260.
Oh, it's got a nice balance on there. Yeah, well, let's do the right thing for you. We could probably show you a couple different ways to save money. It's a great call. Thanks, Shelly.
Give me like 20 minutes, Shelly. I'll call you right back.
Okay, great.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thanks, Shell. That's always a good call. Again, if you do have a property up north that you haven't refinanced, definitely take a look at it. As Shelly mentioned, the appraisers sometimes seem to go a little bit further away up there because there's not as many sales.
Right.
But there's no doubt that our whole state is seeing some appreciation. Harry, you never really got back into the conversation about appraisals.
Well, that's a good thing because, that's a hot button for me. I'm real passionate about appraisals and values. But the bottom line is that when you order, let's just say a number, if we do 250, 300 appraisals a month, sometimes I'm going to have to go ahead and reevaluate or ask for value reconsiderations on 3, 4, or 5 of them. But in the big picture, that's not a big thing.
Right.
But the problem is it's only when it's happening to your transaction. When it's the house you're buying or your house that you're refinancing, we have to dive a little bit deeper and take a look at it and see what homes have sold. But not everything is going to come up to the value that we want. Go ahead.
Let's go to Mike real quick out there on a cell phone. Good morning, Mike. Welcome to the ticket. Go ahead.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good,
what's up, my man?
Good. I just accepted an offer on my home in St. Clair Shores, and right now we're working with 2 different title companies, and it's kind of news to me, but we're working on like a split closing right now. I want to know you guys' thoughts on that.
I don't mind it. I like them.
It's 100% fine.
I like them. You need somebody representing you. Let them have somebody representing them. You're good to go.
So there's no issue with redundancies or paying twice for the same thing?
No,
Hey,
no
nope.
one's paying twice. No one will pay twice.
All right, that's good to know.
You're good,
Thanks a lot,
buddy.
guys.
I like it. Thanks.
All right, fantastic. We wrapping up the show with that call. We want to thank all the callers.
Congratulations
Yeah.
to Josh Taylor and Amy. They just had a baby girl, Fiona, 7.5 pounds and 20 inches.
Oh, that's
Awesome,
fantastic.
big.
All right,
I love
Josh,
it.
a great realtor.
That's
Real
good.
estate, one of my very good friends. Congratulations, buddy. And happy birthday to Perry and Dana Stevens.
All right,
There you go.
fantastic. There's all your show. I want to thank Randy Glantz from Clark Hill from coming in, and thank you very much, man. It's great advice about families out there and what they need to do to protect themselves.
Thank you for having me.
All right, and for Harry Glantz, Alex Nafusi, I'm Harvey Freed. Keep it here on 97.1. Call Capital Mortgage all day long at 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. See you next Saturday.
The preceding was a paid program. Views expressed on this program are not necessarily those of CBS Radio, its sponsors, or affiliates.
97.1 The Ticket.
Hi, Harry Glantz for Capital Mortgage Funding. Rates are at historic lows, so what are you waiting for? Call 1-800-LOW-RATE and let our award-winning staff help you save money. Look, if you're looking to purchase a new home, refinance your existing home, and you want to save money, call 1-800-LOW-RATE and take advantage of these historic low rates. That's Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. What are you waiting for? Call 1-800-LOW-RATE. Capital Mortgage Funding is powered by Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation, NMLS ID number 2289, Equal Housing Lender.
Behind on your mortgage payments and worried that you'll never catch up? There is hope. Working to save your home from foreclosure can seem overwhelming. Sometimes it's tough to know where to begin. If you've fallen behind on your mortgage payments or you're worried about how you'll make the next one, the federal Making Home Affordable program might be